Hello, are you a parent, educator, or a leader in any category? Ask yourself a simple question. If you're given these two phones to select one, which one will you take? This one and this one. Which one will you take? Will you take this and leave this? Or you'll take this and leave this? And which one is a smartphone and which one is a hard phone? That's the same thing today with our education. Ask yourself a simple question. A teacher comes to class to teach, and the teacher is teaching about maybe an egg. And that teacher draws a very beautiful egg, puts the parts of the egg like that, and the children name it. At the end of the day, ask yourself a simple question. What is the main objective of this knowledge? If you ask yourself, or if you make research, you find that 90%, if not 99% of the things we teach in class, the main objective is for children to pass examinations. At the end of that, how is the child going to use this knowledge? If we use one of the 21st century skills, the innovation and creativity, or problem solving, and we teach things differently. Instead of teaching an egg like this, we teach it like this. You bring an egg in class, you enable children understand what is the importance of an egg, where do the eggs come from, because others have a belief that eggs, we just buy them from supermarkets or shops. How can you use this egg to transform your life? And what is in the egg? How can you use this egg to also transform other people's lives? How can it generate money in your life and at the same time become a solution in other people's lives? What are the other uses of an egg? What does that child know about the egg? So these two children, one will go with what we call incomplete knowledge, this one, and one will go with the complete knowledge. The main objective of education is not all about qualification. The main objective of education is transformation. Any education that does not transform lives is not good education. Any knowledge that does not transform the life of a person who has it, then that is not good knowledge. Knowledge has to transform your life and also transform other people's lives. It has to act like a candle. A candle gives us light. So all the education that we have to achieve has to give us light. So as a teacher, if you come with this egg in the class, I strongly believe a child will understand it, will touch the egg, and they will also try to find out more about the egg, because they will never understand that egg is hard from the blackboard, but they can understand or they can feel it when they touch it. Now, basically, again, we are back on our eggs. Assume these are the teachers. Where do you belong? Are you this teacher or this teacher? Any teacher who teaches like this belongs to this phone. And any teacher who teaches like this is like this phone. So, where do you belong as a teacher? And if we want to have a competitive generation, this one goes to all the parents. Instead of demanding our teachers and our schools just good grades, that's not enough. Today, Uganda has registered, and Africa, we have registered so many first grades. But ask yourself a question, where do those first grades go at the end of the day? Right now, Africa should be having so many innovations and solutions, but where are they? Why? The problem is, while teaching children, we mainly focus on what we call performance-based education. And we should greatly invest in what we call solution-based education. Education that enables our children to be more of solution providers. We do appreciate countries that have invested greatly in the CBC, the competence-based curriculum, because at the end of the day, people just need to understand how the competence-based curriculum works and how it can transform Africa, how it can transform our education system if we give it time, and if we also support teachers to understand it, if we support parents to understand the objectives of competence-based curriculum. Then, whereby we are mainly focusing on the performance-based curriculum, that leads to qualification, just qualification. I believe with that, you can make your own conclusion. Today, we have so many educated young boys and girls who are unemployed, Why are they unemployed? It's simply because whatever we learned in schools is more of just cramming and passing. And that's what we call outdated knowledge. The way how, like when you have WhatsApp on this phone, after a certain period of time you have to update it. That's the same thing. We need to update our education without blaming our governments, without blaming any other person. As a school, start that. As a school leader, as a parent, start promoting what we call solution-based education. Let us start promoting what we call solution-based education at all levels of learning. And look at this egg. Like this egg. A teacher teaches it like that, but they never take time, maybe even to break it and show children that this is an egg. If you break it, or if I cut it like this, I will have maybe, this is the egg, it has the yolk, it has the chalaza, it has the membrane. Let children see these things practically. And let a child ask, teacher, why is this part white? Why is this part creamish? Why is this part like this? At the end of the day, that's what we call real learning. There's a big difference between being learned and being educated. It is very good to be educated, but it is very, very important to be learned. We need a learned generation more than an educated generation. What does that mean? It simply means an educated generation is a generation that went to school purely to just pass. While a learned generation is a generation that goes to school and that also uses the community to pass and also learn things that can make an impact or create an impact in their lives and in the lives of others. Don't sell your land because you want your child to just pass. But sell whatever you want to sell simply because you want your child to become a learned person. Thank you very much. Sorry if it has been a hard talk, but I strongly believe you have learned something. This information is for the teachers, schools, parents, because you are the main stakeholders in the business of education, and even our learners, because at the end of the day, we want education to transform their lives. I will end with this quote. Papa Nelson Mandela once said that education is the main weapon we can use to change the world or to transform the world. But it doesn't mean that it should be any education. The way how these two phones, these are all phones, but one goes on the internet, one doesn't go on the internet. One, you can watch videos, one you can't watch videos. So there is also outdated education. Currently, we are very focused on outdated education. Why would I learn so many things that are not creating any impact, firstly in my life and in the lives of the learners we teach? So there are so many things that even a child can learn from the internet instead of going to class and sitting and they learn it in the classroom. So let us shift from just having what they call the blackboard mentality and start to making our learning more practical and more real. That's the way how we can transform Africa without even blaming our leaders. So it's our collective responsibility as parents. Parents, stop demanding schools for just first grades. If you didn't get a first grade while they're studying, why would you like your child to get a super fast grade? And that is the cause of cheating exams, simply because we demand for too much. And at the end of the day, if we join hands and agree that we need to transform our education, we need to transform the way we do things, we shall transform our nation. And we do appreciate all people are doing what it takes to see that we transform our education without hurting any person. May God bless you. Don't forget to share your comment. Don't forget to like Teachers TV Africa, to follow us on all our platforms. We love you.